Now, after a thorough review of the currently available data by medical and regulatory experts, the FDA today is granting an emergency use authorization to Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine. It is decided that all conditions for an EUA are present and that the benefit of using the vaccine outweighs the known and potential risks. The interim data from the ongoing phase 3 trial shows that the vaccine has an efficacy of 95% in the study population and at least 92% among all racial groups. The adverse events reported were transient and mostly mild to moderate, similar to common vaccine reactions among other vaccines that are in use now. No specific safety concerns were identified. It must be noted that this only reflects very limited 2 months follow-up, and of course, we recognize that more adverse effects may emerge. Therefore, close surveillance and monitoring is needed after immunization. The rollout of the vaccine and its use in more than 5 million people worldwide has identified also severe allergic reaction in a few individuals. Therefore, the vaccinations must be done by health professionals trained to recognize and manage such adverse reactions. And they should have the resources at hand to respond, to adequately respond and manage such cases. And the following are the salient points of the EUA, and this will later on be available at the FDA website. So the product name is Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine. The storage is -80 to -60 degrees, and it is for the active immunization for the prevention of COVID-19 in individuals 16 years of age and older. So hindi pa po siya pwedeng gamitin sa mga bata na less than 16 years. After careful consideration, we found that the application has satisfied the following conditions. Number one, that based on the totality of evidence available to date, including data from adequate and well-known controlled trials, it is reasonable to believe that Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 may be effective to prevent, diagnose, or treat COVID-19. In this case, prevent COVID-19. Second, the known and potential benefits of the Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine when used to prevent COVID-19 outweigh the known and potential risks of the said vaccine as of date. So yung ating nakitang data, nakita natin na mas malaki yung benefit niya kesa sa possible risks. Third, there's currently no adequate approved and available alternative product to prevent COVID-19. Wala pang approved, registered, and merong marketing authorization na COVID-19 vaccine sa Pilipinas today. So in issuing this EUA, there is recognition and reliance accorded to the emergency use listing of the WHO and the emergency use authorizations given by mature and established national regulatory agencies such as that of the US, Canada, and yung mga na-mention natin kanina. This EUA, it has to be clear, is not a marketing authorization or a certificate of product registrations. Therefore, this EUA cannot be used as an authorization to market the vaccine commercially. Hindi pa po siya maaaring ibenta sa mga butika, halimbawa, or sa mga doktor, tapos or yung pong maibebenta din directly sa pasyente. It cannot be marketed commercially. The scope, Pfizer Philippines shall supply Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine only to emergency response stakeholders, consistent with the terms and conditions of the EUA. And this would include the Department of Health or the National Task Force Against COVID-19 or whoever the DOH or the NTF designate as authorized to procure Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 in line with the National COVID-19 Vaccination Program. So the DOH and NTF may designate public and private hospitals, health facilities of other national government agencies, local government units, and other members of the private sector. So once designated by the DOH and NTF, then they can have access to the vaccines from Pfizer. Pfizer BioNTech vaccine shall only be administered by vaccination providers and used only to prevent COVID-19. So wala siyang ibang indication, no? Prevention of COVID-19 lang, and only individuals aged 16 years and older. The manufacturing facility shall comply with current good manufacturing practice requirements. So kailangan lang ma-maintain, no, yung GMP ng manufacturing. And as for the cold chain management, unless there's an agreement with the DOF or NTF as the procurer, the Pfizer shall provide appropriate cold chain requirements for storage, transport, and handling until it is delivered to the inoculation sites and ensure that a contingency plan is in place. Of course, mag-iiba yun kung depende na yan sa kontrata ng DOH or NTF ng procurer kung paano yung kanilang hatian sa handling ng cold chain. No? But if there's no agreement, then the Pfizer shall provide the appropriate cold chain requirements. Pfizer Philippines shall have a system of monitoring to ensure traceability and that the vaccine is consistent with the storage requirements from the manufacturer and transport to the inoculation sites to assure proper handling and, of course, quality of the vaccines. For pharmacovigilance, Pfizer Philippines must have a comprehensive pharmacovigilance system or protocol. Submission of serious and non-serious adverse reaction reports is mandatory. And this is both ways. No? If there are any serious reports from overseas, kailangan they share it with us. Dito rin yung mga local, and then we continuously share the pharmacovigilance reports with them. Pfizer must ensure compliance with the risk management plan. For the response stakeholders and vaccination providers, the emergency response stakeholders shall identify the vaccination sites. This is DOH and NTF to receive the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine and ensure appropriate storage and cold chain management is maintained. Second, they have to ensure the administration of the vaccine is consistent with the terms of this letter, the EUA, the latest updated product information which is available to the public, and the COVID-19 vaccination program. And third, ensure that the vaccination providers of the COVID vaccine, Pfizer COVID vaccine, are aware of the letter of authorization and the terms herein. So kailangan po lahat ng gagamit aware dun sa letter ng EUA at kung ano yung terms niya and aware dun sa latest product information. The vaccination providers, ito po yung mag-i-inject na, no, must administer the vaccine in accordance with the EUA and of course the latest product information and participate and comply with the terms and training required by the DOH for COVID-19 vaccination program. So kahit po yung mga dinesignate ng DOH at saka NTF na magpa-participate ng mga LGU or private sector, they have to comply with the terms and training required by the DOH for the vaccination program. The provider shall provide the fact sheets to the recipients of the caregivers and provide necessary information for receiving their second dose. So sa start pa lamang po, yung recipient, bibigyan na siya ng fact sheet, tapos bibigyan din siya ng information kung kailan yung kanyang second dose. Kasi po ito ay binibigay after 3 weeks, yung second dose niya. The vaccination provider shall obtain written informed consent from the recipient of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine prior to vaccination. Bago mabakunahan, kailangan may written informed consent. And last, report of any adverse events following immunization must be they must report any adverse events following immunization to the yung ating pong surveillance program. The validity of the EUA shall be valid only within the duration of the declared public health emergency due to COVID-19 or upon issuance of a marketing authorization or certificate of product registration. Kapag nag-register na sila at may full marketing authorization sila, then wala ng EUA. Pwede na nilang i-market yung kanilang product. So, thank you, Laura.
Thank you, DG. So, tama po, no? We just gave EUA to Pfizer. Doc, may question lang, no? Kasi LGUs are also parang getting into agreements with vaccine manufacturers. Pag nagpo-provide po kayo ng EUA, who bears the risk for the accountability?
The Department of Health, no? The Department of Health, it is the national government. So, primarily, ang sinusupply ng company, like in this case Pfizer, supplies the Department of Health. And the Department of Health allows or designates local government units to be part of the program. But ang talagang nagkakaroon dito, ang partner niya, ang sinusupply niya ay ang DOH. So DOH takes a lot of the responsibility